Welcome to Collision Course. I'm Jimmy Fish. Now, last week a new heavyweight champion was crowned. Let's take a look back at what happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest set for one fall with 30-minute time limit is the finals of the Collision Cup tournament and is for the Pro Wrestling Collision Heavyweight Championship.
Heath Hatton has been in some pretty high-profile matches in his young career.
Oh, again, those kicks right into that left shoulder has been injured throughout this tournament.
This is a big one, too. It is for the Pro Wrestling Collision Heavyweight Championship. And Hatton trying to defend himself, but not having a whole lot of luck here.
And now he's going into no man's land here in the visiting team territory.
That's right. Brandon Toll going to have to get in there, laying the count on both men now as they are technically outside the ring.
Oh, jeez, did you see that?
Certainly did, and Hatton now falls to the arena floor here at the SIU Student Center Ballroom in Carbondale, Illinois.
There's absolutely a lot on the line. Hatton, though, looks like he's spaghetti legs, and now Christian Rose is trying to power him up to that top turnbuckle.
Almost like a rag doll being pulled up to that top rope.
Oh, good God, what are we going to do from up here, Kevin?
Again, working on that shoulder, but Hatton fighting back with some fists to the abdomen.
He's got to, Kevin. This is it. Oh.
Big punch there. And Hatton is out. What's he going to do
He
here?
says it's over. He lost his balance, though.
A lot of sweat on those ropes. We have seen 7 matches to determine.
Oh!
This is the 7th match, I should say.
Wait a minute now, come on now.
Chris Hagstrom leaving the commentary table here. Big drop kick from the top rope.
Probably not a good idea to just throw equipment around like that.
Look at that. Matt Cage stops the pinfall. Stops the count, rather.
And Chris Hagstrom is not happy. He is extremely angry. He takes this very personally.
Joey O'Reilly
coming, maybe not to make the save, but to make sure that we see a clean winner here.
A lot of aggression from Joey O'Reilly and Matt Cage. These two do not like each other.
They are making their way out of here.
Rose distracted by it all. Schoolboy roll-up, not enough.
Chris Hagstrom, very into this match. You know, he has a vested interest in whomever wins. Hatton blocks the move that Rose did earlier, almost a spinning go to sleep.
Look at this, swinging neck breaker. But the tide has turned once again in this matchup. And there it goes again, now back into the favor of Christian Rose, who despite having his friends and partners kicked out is still putting on quite a contest.
Fireman's carry, elbows by Hatton.
Moves it into almost a DDT.
Good enough to get the win. We have a new champion. Hatton is the new champion.
You know, when I came into this business, I was told to be the best, you got to beat the best. And I feel like tonight, I beat some of the 3 best competitors on the indie scene today. I may have been the underdog, I may not have been the favorite, but I'll tell you what, I had the support of a lifetime. The crowd was so loud, the crowd was behind me from the minute I walked through the curtain. Christian Rose is possibly one of the best wrestlers on the independent circuit. He went one-on-one with Matt Hardy, and he walked away a winner. Alex Castle is one of the top rising stars on the indie circuit today. Now, I may have overestimated him. I may have looked past him. I may have been a little bit too confident. But I was standing tall at the end. Now, there's going to be a long list of guys, from Axe to Brandon Espinoza to probably Matt Cage to a Christian Rose, that want a shot at this. I'll tell you something. I've been bad-mouthed, I've been talked about, I've been told from day one that this is never going to happen. I'll be damned if this belt ever leaves my fingers. It's going to take an army to walk into that ring and expect me to lay down and hand them this belt. So know this, anybody that steps into that ring with me, know this, I'm fighting for this title, and I will never, ever let it go easy.
Heath Hatton has proven himself to be a top star in Pro Wrestling Collision. Another guy that wants to do the same is Farmer Billy Hills. Let's hear from him.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the night. Pro Wrestling Collision, the Collision Cup. Now I was given a little bit of time to come and talk to you guys, so I figured I would just go ahead and air out, I guess you say, a small grievance. Now, it's not necessarily with Pro Wrestling Collision and them leaving me out of the Collision Cup. No. It's actually with myself, because the fact that I was being left out of the Collision Cup means that I've not done enough to showcase myself. But tonight, all of that changes, because tonight I'm facing another fan favorite in Justice. I'm also facing a very, very, very underrated up-and-comer in Zakk Sawyer's. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the hooligans he runs around with in Team Overkill and some of their tactics. But you know what? I still see something else in you, Zakk. I still see a small glisten, a small something. I tell you what, I'm going to bring that out of you, Zakk. I don't really care if you do align yourself with Team Overkill. I promise to bring that out of you. But tonight, it's about me, because tonight I have to prove to everybody that I did deserve to be in that Collision Cup. And tonight, guys, I cowboy up. And you guys, you got two choices. Either you're going to get down or get plowed down. Boom!
Hello, and welcome to a very special edition of Old School, filmed in front of a live studio audience. Now, since I have a live studio audience here, I would like to play a little game with you fans if you'd like to get involved. Who would like to win a very special prize here tonight? Please hand me the Trapper Keeper of Doom. Thank you. Now, what I have here inside the Trapper Keeper of Doom, imagine going to your local theater. Have any of you ever seen a movie in a theater? Any of you? See it? Show of hands. Who's seen a movie in a theater? Imagine now being able to have that same experience inside your own home. A VHS package I'll have for the winner who can answer one question for me. Jay Wells, please go to the crowd. The question is, what is wrong with this tournament tonight? There is something wrong, there's something missing. Whoever answers it correctly will get the prize.
All right, silence. One of you wonderful people get to meet me, J. Wellington Beauregard. Now, Mr. Stevens.
Yes.
What was that question again?
What is wrong with this tournament? What is missing?
Who can answer that? A show of hands.
A cup.
Who can
That's the
answer
correct
that?
answer. A cup.
Who can answer? What's the answer to that question, miss? What's your name, by the way? Ladies and gentlemen, Jacqueline. What's the answer?
J. Spade.
You lose.
What a moron, Jay Spade.
Anyone
Are you
over
kidding
here?
me?
You,
Pick someone
ma'am,
that's not an
waving right
idiot.
there. Come on up, ma'am. What is your name, ma'am?
Crystal.
This is Crystal, everybody. Now, do you know the answer to this question?
I think I do. Because the greatest wrestler ever, Allwardt, was not in the tournament.
Correct!
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner!
Correct! That's right!
Finally, someone who has some sense around here.
And your prize, a movie that hasn't even been released in theaters yet, the movie that made John Goodman a star as the guy that got ate by a chud, the movie Chud on VHS. Take it home with you. And now, without
Here
further
you go,
ado,
Crystal. Here's your prize. Thank you for playing. I'm sorry.
let's get our guest out here, none other than the greatest wrestler that ever lived, Axe Allwardt. Keep the noise down, please. I'm trying to conduct an interview here. Come on, let's keep it cordial here. All right. Now, can you guys be quiet? I'm trying to conduct an interview here. Axe, something terrible has happened to you. And I want to try to relate it to these fans, but they know nothing about wrestling. So I'm going to try and put it into terms they can understand. Now, all you guys out there, let's imagine for a second, I know it's a stretch, that you're in a relationship with a real woman, okay? Okay, just pretend. And for all you women out there, this is what you do with your lives so you'll understand. Now, imagine, gentlemen, that you're like me. You're an awesome individual, amazing at everything. You meet a woman, and then she says, I love you, but you gotta change the way you dress. Your clothes are terrible. You guys know that, right? You know it, so you change it. Next thing, I love you, but I hate your friends and I hate your family, so you gotta get rid of them. And you say, okay, I'll do that. Next, she says, I love you, but you gotta get a new job. And so you get a new job. Before you know it, the awesome person you were has been totally stripped away. You're nothing but a pile. You know what I'm talking about. And then you know what happens? The lady dumps you, and she gets a young, hot new guy. Now that's exactly what happened to Axe Allwardt. And what are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna show you one of the things I'm gonna do about it right now. Bring me a garbage can up here.
I was going to say Aaron should dump himself.
No, you can't do that. That's $500.
Yeah, Gaylord. They told me for years, well, if you cut your hair like a 70s guy and you wear that $500 rope down to the ring, you know, and you act like you just love the 70s, well, we'll make you a big star. We'll put you in the main event. So I let them change me. I was born in 78. I don't know anything about the 70s. I know everything about the 80s, though.
The 80s were awesome. Everybody knows that.
And there's not one guy in that tournament tonight, not one, that was even born in the 80s. Not one was even born in the 80s. And now I don't even have a match tonight after I changed all my stuff for these guys. And I don't even get a tournament match. Right?
It's totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you know what else is ridiculous? I talked to Chris Hagstrom. I talked to Adam Testa. And they say, this needs to be more of a circus show. Hey, why don't we get a trapeze set up out here? How about a hippopotamus on the outside of the ring? We can feed it some. Hey, give me some balls out here. I'll juggle for you. You know what? They say those guys that are in this tournament are tough as nails. What are you going to do about it?
So Chris Hagstrom says these guys are tough as nails, huh? Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a house. And you know what you need for a house, don't you? A bunch of nails. And you know what you do with the nails? You drive them into the floor, you drive them into the wall, and you use a big hammer. And I'm going to bring the big hammer down on all those guys in the tournament tonight.
They say this is about the future. Why don't we just sit out here all night until the future happens? You know what I'm talking about? Let's just sit out here all night.
Sit out here all night, because nobody's going to do anything about it. Hey,
What?
J-Will, have you seen any good movies lately?
What do you want? Get in here. What do you want? What's that? We got to wrap up. Wrap him up.
What?
Well, I guess Axe is taking out the trash there, so to speak.
What in the world? All this young man did was ask them to wrap up. They're refusing to leave the ring.
You know, they purchased like 5 minutes of time here, and they went over it. Not me, no.
I have no problem. Getting security out here now. This is getting out of hand quick.
Security's got to do their job and get these guys out of here. That's the bottom line.
Old school, always an entertaining segment, but my God, a young man assaulted basically by Axe Allwardt.
I mean, he's a staff member. He's not a wrestler, so you got to hope he's okay. He appears to be all right. If he stays on the job, then he's a real man.
He's getting helped out of here by
Great
owner
job.
and executive producer Chris Hagstrom.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Hagstrom.
I'm Kevin Huntsberger.
And I'm Adam Testa. And if you're looking for the smartest and snarkiest commentary on professional wrestling, look no further than From the Rafters Radio.
Sometimes Aaron Heller and Chet Smart join us, but, you know, they're not really that important.
That's From the Rafters Radio each Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time at WGGH.net or Monster Radio, 1150 a.m. Got coffee? If not, head to Crossroads Coffee Company in Carterville. Not only do they have a variety of coffee and tea, you can also pick up breakfast, lunch, or dinner anytime. That includes the Kevin Huntsberger, an 8-ounce Angus burger on a toasted ciabatta bun topped with homemade chili, pepper jack cheese, waffle fries, and jalapenos. Coming soon, craft-style beer and local wines. Watch for details on our Facebook page, Crossroads Coffee Company. Check it out, Crossroads Coffee Company, located off of Route 13 in Carterville.
here and do what I do. Can you get in here and do what I do? Get in here and do what I do. Get in here and do what I do. You can't do it. Get in here and do what I do. Do it. You white trash piece of
Justice is, he's into motorcycles. Farmer Billy Hills is actually a farmer. So, these are two guys who sort of live the way that they, the way that their jobs. And this wrestling thing is, sort of getting their aggression out. And they may take it out on Mr. Sawyer here.
Yeah, I don't envy him at all. All three men will be in the ring at the same time. Of course, this is a triple threat match. Not a handicap match, although it may appear that way on the surface.
And Zakk Sawyer could end up handicapped after the match.
Look at this, a handshake, an alliance already perhaps. Well, they're going to shake Zakk Sawyer's hand as well. Sawyer says no thanks.
It's not Team Overkill style. They want to, do it their own way. I seriously doubt we will see a handshake here.
Farmer kind of stepping into the corner here. Perhaps it's going to be Justice and Zakk starting things off. Oh, man.
Not a good strategy.
Like running into a brick wall.
Farmer Billy Hills may actually have the advantage here because he's letting Justice do all the work. Justice smartly telling Hills to do some of it too. Matt Cage berating us here at the commentation station. So
that's okay. We're used to that. We've been yelled at before.
One of us stepped in the ring.
Look at this.
Oh boy.
Farmer didn't even move.
I mean, Matt Cage making it clear that he did not train Zakk Sawyer.
I wouldn't want to take credit for that either, Matt. I don't blame you.
I think Matt Cage would just kick him in the face. That's what I think he would do.
Now he's trying to shove the Farmer, and now Justice getting involved. Oh, look at this.
And these jabs are going to do Zakk Sawyer no favors.
He looks like a pinball in there at the moment.
But I have a question. What's going to happen when they get Sawyer out of the ring or they knock him completely out? We're going to have to turn on each other. It'll be interesting to see which one does it first.
Yeah, that's a great point because obviously there can only be one winner here.
Right, no dual pinfalls here.
And all these men looking to climb the ranks of Pro Wrestling Collision and perhaps be...
And that is an easy double vertical suplex.
Absolutely. I think they could have done it on their own very easily as well. Look at this. Farmer going for the pin.
Cover.
Justice, what's he doing?
And Justice, and this is what we just talked about. We just said only one can win.
And Farmer breaks up the pinfall that time. Justice kind of questioning
and this
that.
is where Zakk Sawyer can get an advantage. If Justice and Hill start getting into it, that's Sawyer's sliver of opportunity.
Looks like they're going to take turns one-upping each other here.
I hope Zakk Sawyer has good health insurance.
As he's about to get slammed again by a big man, a dominant force here.
Now, wrestling fans will see that body slam and they'll say, oh, it's a very basic move. But when you slam someone against the mat, that hurts.
Absolutely, and somebody as big as Farmer Billy Hills and as big as Justice doing it to you, it's no easy task.
And this is so Sawyer can think about the body slam. Think about it.
Yeah, when you're caught in midair like that, you have nothing but your thoughts going on. It just mentally plays with you there.
Matt Cage not happy on the outside, scoffing when he's sitting here. But, you know, this is a tough spot for him. He's not really helping Sawyer out, not even providing a distraction. He wants Sawyer to prove this on his own. That's the impression that I'm getting just by him standing, walking around, throwing.
Some tough love, but look at this in the ring now. The two big men, the immovable force and the irresistible object. Seeing some pushes.
Gorilla Monsoon. Justice taking advantage.
I didn't trade him.
You know, who's the more aggressive man? That's who I think is going to win this.
Farmer whipped in. Justice with a big boot right to the midsection. And Farmer is hurt.
Sliding uppercut there, and I think what people underestimate is they see two big guys and they're going to assume, oh, it's just the power game. But both these guys are deceptively fast as we see Hills move out of the way there. Good kick in the middle rope
look at
by
this,
Sawyer.
That Cage pep talk must have worked.
Well, he had time to rest. That's the important part.
Absolutely, as the two big men took it out on each other, and of course they're going to wear out much faster. Zakk Sawyer, though.
Hills smartly, he doesn't, you know, no fancy movement, just throws his hands away. We get it, Matt. We get it.
Sawyer now once again on the receiving end of those right hands by the Farmer. Justice back in. Farmer doesn't see him.
And Justice is not.
Oh!
Justice, he wants to win. You know, playtime is over. It's time to win.
Big elbow. Farmer has said he's got something to prove here to the management. Excuse me, the front office of Pro Wrestling Collision. Look at this. A rare move by the big man climbing up.
Well, I talked about the agility earlier, and we're seeing a little bit of it here. Beautiful shoulder block off the middle rope.
Farmer taking full advantage now. He's got both men down.
He's got to pick one and just take care of business then.
Justice looks
Sawyer,
like he's going to take Justice.
I think he should go after Sawyer here.
I agree, and took his eyes off of Sawyer and was totally blindsided.
That's the thing, you know, when you hang around Team Overkill, you've got to get smart, if through nothing, then through osmosis.
Look at this, spins him around in an elbow, beautifully placed by Sawyer.
Sawyer's got to use his speed.
Oh.
Not a good idea.
Dropped like a sack of potatoes. I'm sure Farmer is moving more than a few sacks of wheat and grain from his farm.
Yeehaw, he's getting ready. He's getting ready to shoot him down here.
Look at this.
Got two men in the corner.
Got them both in his sights.
There's a lariat from Hills there.
Hills.
A big, nice knee to the back.
And look at this. Sawyer takes full advantage.
Sawyer's going to steal this one. Oh, my.
Matt Cage taking credit now.
You know what? It's tough to blame him.
Zakk Sawyer!
You know, Sawyer did not control very much of the match, but he did just enough to get the win. Wrestling is not determined by points.
A very smart move by Zakk Sawyer on this episode of Collision Force.
And think about how much more dangerous Team Overkill is now if they have a third person who can compete in singles wrestling.
I would say this is an upset for sure, Jerome. And Matt Cage not enjoying
What
the
is
affection.
Sawyer doing? What? See, he wins the match, but then he acts like a goofball afterwards.
Teaching him how to do it.
I think he's got a slingshot. He doesn't really have a gun.
Team Overkill style. And Justice being helped out of here as well as Farmer nailed him with a big lariat.
Yeah, the lariat coming from such a big man, very painful. But there's no doubt that these three guys are going to be a huge part of Pro Wrestling Collision moving forward, but Sawyer has the advantage. And Hills is not happy with Sawyer. I wonder if we're going to see this matchup possibly in a singles in the very near future.
Be interesting to see when you don't have other guys involved, other factors like that, in a matchup as the caliber of a triple threat.
A big win for Zakk Sawyer, but Farmer Billy Hills can't be happy with the outcome. We'll see what happens with that next. But for now, thanks for joining us on Collision Course. I'm Jimmy Fish. We'll see you next time.